it's Don, and thanks for joining me for video number 157 of the construction happenings here in the Villages. In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the construction going on throughout the Villages, and especially we're going to look at the Woodlands Championship Golf Course. I've done an 18-hole flyover of it, so let's get started. The first thing we'll look at today is the work going on at the new Costco on 466. As you can see, the gas pumps are in, and they're working at a pretty good pace to get the gas pumps ready for use. They have a targeted August date for opening the store, and it looks like they very well may make that date without any problems. I'll gain a little altitude now, and we'll get a better look at the building itself that's under construction. As you can see, the parking lot is paved, they've got the islands in, and much of the shrubbery is in. They're working on the awning that covers the entrance, and the entire building is now dried in and watertight. I did a drive around the building when I shot this, and you could see that they were doing work inside the building, so obviously they're putting the shelves together and things like that. I'll fly back again now towards the gas station, and we'll get another look at the building, the parking lot, and of course the gas station as work continues on it. You can see that they're putting in curbing, so it won't be long before they put the asphalt down. We'll go back up and we'll get another overhead look at the building before moving on. Moving down to 44 and Morse Boulevard, this is the Walmart Superstore that's under construction. As you can see, it's not nearly as far along. I had originally speculated that it would be done before Costco, but it's very obvious that I was wrong in that speculation. This is going to be quite a while yet before this building opens. The roof is now on, and many of the rooftop package units are already installed. This section here that looks like the roofing isn't installed, I believe is their garden center. An October opening of this store doesn't seem to be too far out of the question at this point. A big concern to many people is the amount of traffic that this is going to bring to this intersection. That study is underway and should be ready here in another month or two. Since we're looking at big box stores, the next logical place to go is the Target being built up on 466A. It's coming along. You can see the parking lot looks nice and pretty. There's not a lot of stuff in the parking lot, so everything is being focused on the interior. I tried to get a close-up shot, but there was too much glare on the windows. I have heard a rumor of sometime in July this store opening. Based on the source of that information, that sounds like a pretty good date. But of course, like anything else, it's subject to change. Since we're looking at retail establishments, here's something new that I just found out the other day that's happening down by Eastport. There's a new retail building scheduled for development on the west side of Marsh Bend Trail near Central Parkway. This is just north of the fire station and directly across from the village of Lakeview. The main building on the left is about 140,000 square feet. But this is not a Villages development. This is a third-party developer. There are 6 retail slots slated for the main building, the biggest of which is 55,000 square feet. The rest are in the 20,000 square foot range, which are a lot bigger than the typical strip mall. Does this mean a grocery store? I'm not sure, because grocery stores tend to have the angled parking, and this has straight-on parking throughout the entire lot. We'll keep a close watch on this, and I'll let you know what's happening as soon as I find out something. Far and Away Mobile Pet Grooming provides professional grooming services right outside your home. Their state-of-the-art mobile grooming salon won't disturb your neighbors with loud noises or smelly fumes, providing a less stressful grooming experience with no more contact with other pets and their germs. With nearly 50 years combined professional grooming experience, Villages residents Eric and Sharon McFarland bring their expertise and full line of competitively priced services to your home. Big dogs or small, they do them all. I trust them with my Sully and Lily, and you can trust them with yours. Far and away, they're the best mobile groomer in the Villages. The new Wawa at 466 and Powell Road /462 is nearly complete. They're actually stocking the shelves and putting in all the fixtures at this point. When it will open, nothing has been announced yet, but it's obvious it'll be fairly soon. I personally don't get what all the excitement is about. It's just another convenience store with a gas station in it. The only thing that's going to really drive me into Wawa is if they have the lowest gas prices. This is the new Hooters restaurant at Lake Deaton Plaza. It's coming along very well. It'll probably be opening in another month or so. They're working on the interior at this point, and a little bit of the exterior. The outside seating at Hooters is on the east side of the building, which will make it pleasant in the evenings, unlike some restaurants where I've been, where the exterior dining is on the west side and the sun is unbearable. Next to Hooters is Dunkin' Donuts, where progress is moving much slower. If you see on the ground, you can see the grass growing in. That means that dirt hasn't been moved in a couple of weeks. I don't know what they're doing, but it's not making good progress at all. Hooters will definitely be open before Dunkin' Donuts, and Dunkin' Donuts started a long time before Hooters. I know there's many who don't like Hooters for various reasons. Personally, I like the chicken wings that they serve. I think they taste really good, so I'm looking forward to Hooters opening. As far as additional traffic in this area, maybe lunchtime it'll add to the peak traffic, a small amount, not significant. But the rest of the time, it's going to be an insignificant impact on traffic in this area. Paisanos having a buy one get one free, or Publix having Ben & Jerry's buy one get one free, will probably have an equal amount of traffic impact in this area as Hooters opening here in this area. Harrying the Natives is getting very close. Sometime this summer it should open. One of the interesting things is the number of connections on the boardwalk going to Harry and the Natives. It looks like 3 or 4 different connections from the same boardwalk that is part of the Okahumpka Recreation Center. They're doing a lot of interior work right now in Harry and the Natives. One of the comments I've frequently heard is, "Oh, it's taken so long to build. It took so long to get moving." Well, there was a lot of extra permitting that had to be done with this because, remember, you've got a restaurant with food sitting on a natural wetlands. So they have to take special precautions not to let the food fall into the water. That took a little more effort than a typical restaurant. As you can see, they're doing a lot of work on the exterior dining area of Harry and the Natives. Yes, it was very windy when I shot this. Right as I completed my flight, it started coming down in buckets. And no, my drones are not waterproof. This is the independent living facility that's being built next to the Sand Hill Executive Golf Course. This is not being built by the Villages and will not be part of the Villages. It will not have golf cart accessibility to the villages, and they will not have access to our amenities here in the villages. They will, however, have access to the town squares and the shopping, because those are not amenities, and those are not paid for by the village's residents. Those are paid for by the merchants. They are not amenities. This facility has 2 wings of residential apartments, and the area between those 2 wings is where their amenities are. The area where the roof trusses are going in the upper right corner appears to be some sort of theater or entertainment area with seating that they're building for this facility.
So we all know when people move into their homes, especially in Florida, we're limited for storage space. So what we do is we come in and help create storage space by maximizing what is currently available in their kitchens and their closets and other rooms. So a few of the things that we really pride ourselves on is communication with the customer, and our attention to detail is second to none. If you're looking to transform your kitchen, closet, or any other space in your home, give us a call or check out our website to book an appointment.
Here we have the Encompass Rehab Hospital. This is a 30-bed rehab hospital with a second phase planned for another 50 beds for a total of 80. When and if the second phase is built is yet unknown. I'm sure will all depend on how successful the business is for phase 1. Looking at it from this view, it does seem quite large for 30 beds, so maybe there are definite plans to move ahead with the second phase. This is the newest recreation center being built here in the villages. So this is the Saint-Tropez Recreation Center, and it's scheduled for opening June 19th, Thursday. Saint-Tropez Recreation Center appears to be similar to most of what we've seen in recent years for these village recreation centers. A building with a couple of rooms for activities, a resort-style pool, pickleball courts, tennis courts, and a few other amenities. There is a unique amenity here at Saint-Tropez, and that's going to be this pond that you see on the screen. This is designed supposedly for radio-controlled boats. You can see the dock that they have for easy access. Speaking with some of the RC boat people, though, they're not overly thrilled, but we'll see how it works out anyway. This is the starter shack for the Live Oak and Laurel Oak executive golf courses and pitch and putt. As we fly around the backside of Saint-Tropez, we can see the horseshoe pits, the shuffleboard courts, and the bocce courts. Again, typical of what we see at these village recreation centers. Now let's take a look at Eastport. And remember, folks, Eastport is still not open to the public yet. It's a construction zone, so please stay out of it. We'll turn around now. We're going to go look at the ball fields. The Farragut ball fields are the latest addition. They look pretty good. I did hear a statement made that they may be opening sooner than originally anticipated, like maybe before the summer is up. All the outdoor courts are completed and ready for use. We're going to go over and take a quick look at the pool. First up, though, we see the dog park. Then we see the pool. The building with the large black roof is the indoor athletic facilities, which are part of the Olympia Recreation Center. The Olympia Recreation Center is huge compared to the rest of them. It's going to be interesting to see how the Olympia Recreation Center is decorated, as each rec center has its own unique style. The blue building is the boathouse. That's for the dragon boats and supposedly kayak and canoe rentals. Now I'm going to take a flight around the shoreline of Central Lake. The first thing we see is this white building next to the bridge. This is one of the 2 public restrooms. We see the Olympic-sized swimming pool, Olympia Recreation Center, the sales office, a kiosk for beverages, and then the stage. And this is Prime and Embers, the first restaurant that will probably be open in Eastport. Another kiosk for beverages, and behind it, the other restroom. And now we have the Eastport Hotel with its own swimming pool also. The white building at the top of the screen is for the driving range. As we continue on, we see the starter shack or the Bel Air Executive Course. And now I'm going to fly around the lake, and you can see the walking path that goes around it. There's a fence between the walking path area and the homes. And then there's a cart path that also goes around the part of the lake. Another thing you'll see is several of these buildings that I guess are pavilions for use by people who want to enjoy the lake and maybe have a private picnic or something, or a small group picnic. The village of Lakeview on the south side of the lake and LaGrange on the north side of the lake will have many lots that have a great view of the lake and also direct access to the music coming off of the square every night, whether they want to enjoy it or not. The basin area on the north side of Sunset Island is a staging area for the dragon boats as they get ready to race. Let's face it, we're not as young as we once were. Climbing those old-fashioned attic stairs to get the Christmas decorations down or to stow those family treasures is just too dangerous. Majic Stairs is the safer alternative. Real steps with safety rails at a safer angle and safety rails in the attic provide the safest attic access available. Having troubles getting things to and from the attic? The Majic Attic Lift can be there to help. Designed by Villages resident Ron Berner, every Majic Stairs and Majic Attic Lift is custom built in their Ocala, Florida factory and installed by their technicians. Why take chances? For less than the cost of one emergency room visit, you can have Majic Stairs installed in your home. Majic Stairs, the safer, more convenient alternative. So let's take a second look at Eastport now, but this time at about half the altitude as previous. I'm at about 50 feet here. It seems like a lot of height, but let me tell you, it's really not. Those trees get really close to the drone. It's a different perspective. You can see things a little bit better, a little bit more like you're used to seeing it. Here's the hotel. It's progressing quickly. It should be open by winter. Here we come into the downtown area, the entertainment area. They've installed the canopies over the entertainment area, which will make things a lot nicer in the summertime, especially here in Florida. We'll get a better look at the size of this in just a minute. There's more of the downtown area, the Olympia Recreation Center. As we rotate around, we see the bridge over to Sunset Island. We'll circle around Sunset Island, and you can see the viewing area where all the palm trees are. That's so you can watch the entertainment from the island. It will be interesting to see what they have planned for this large brick area. I'm sure it's going to be things like entertainment and who knows what else. We're always full of surprises. The western half of the island is this kind of garden walking area. This looks like it's going to be a peaceful place to be. Of course, it's going to be a while, I think, until these trees get big enough to really provide some significant shade. But when they do, maybe in about 5 years, it should be a pretty spectacular area. This is the other side of the bridge. That's the restroom building. I believe this dirt spot here is where they're putting the children's playground. And here we have the dock for the dragon boats and possibly canoe rentals and kayak rentals. We go back towards the entertainment area, you'll see just how big these canvas tarps are that they've put over the entertainment area. This is pretty big. It looks to be probably twice the size of what they've done at Sawgrass Grove. Let's move now to the south end of Eastport. This first building is reminiscent of a 1950s movie theater, but it doesn't appear that that's what's going in there. It looks more like commercial properties. As we continue down the street, you'll see different facades of the different buildings. This appears to be part of that mid-century modern theme that the Villages is pushing for, both in the hotel and most of the downtown district. All the plans for Eastport indicate that there's no street-side parking. Car parking will be in all the parking lots behind the buildings. Street-side parking will be reserved for golf carts only. The rooftop area is part of Prime and Embers, the new FMK restaurant going in Eastport. The small building with the wide opening in front of the hotel is one of 2 public restroom areas being built to accommodate the guests in Eastport. The portico on the front of the Eastport Hotel can be seen here under construction. There's still a tremendous amount of construction going on around the hotel, which is my understanding why the Bel Air Executive Course is not open yet, because the starter shack is right here next to the driving range facility and in the middle of all this construction. For those of you who are the long hitters, this driving range is about 300 yards, so you're probably not going to be overdriving and have to worry about hitting the golf training facility at the other end. We'll fly down Eastport Drive and take a look at the other side of the street now. Once again, the buildings all have this mid-century modern facade. I remember seeing buildings that looked like this in many of the towns that I grew up in as a kid. Once again, we see many different architectural styles on the fronts of these buildings to make it look like they were built over several decades, instead of just 2 or 3 years. The 2 black columns in the middle of the road are to hold up a sign that's going to go across the roadway. Not sure what it's going to say yet. This again is Prime and Embers with the upstairs bar area. We'll rotate around slowly and we'll get a look at the entertainment area, the covered pavilion for the bands. Continuing to rotate around, we're going to come into what's been described in at least one of the Villages commercials as a European-themed area with shops and restaurants in kind of a back alley area. That's the area right below the drone, and you can see some of these pseudo alleys. The building at the top of the screen is the sales center. Here's another view of some of those shops in this European-themed area. I'm not sure what the round silo-looking building is. That'll be interesting to see at some point what they do with it. Flying back to the south, we come across Citizens First Bank, which has been open for about 2 or 3 weeks now. This is the village of Water's Edge. And here we have the golf cart store. This building once again takes on that mid-century modern theme. This looks like some old-fashioned car dealership. We'll head on over now and take another look at some of these outdoor activity courts. We've got platform tennis, bocce, shuffleboard, tennis, pickleball. Seems like you name it, they got it here at the Olympia Recreation Center. We'll take another look at the sales center. The question that comes to mind for me is, will they continue to have the sales center at the Everglades Recreation Center and at Sawgrass Grove? And if not, what will those areas be re-envisioned as?
Hi, I'm Jeff Monash with Village Air Filters. Are you tired of wasting money on throwaway paper air filters? I can save you money with my lifetime permanent washable air filters. Just buy it once and never buy another air filter again. Rinse it out, and then just slide it right back in. My filters are custom made in the US, and they have a lifetime warranty. Give me a call at 352-388-1230 or visit my website at villageairfilters.com.
This is the southern end of CDD 16. CDD 16 was recently formed. You're looking at one of the 2 executive golf courses currently under construction. The road on the right-hand side of the screen is Marsh Bend Trail as it extends to the southeast beyond Bar Boulevard. There are 4 executive golf courses being built between Marsh Bend Trail and Central Parkway. and between Central Parkway and the Florida Turnpike for the northern half of CDD 16. There's also a 27-hole championship course currently in the early stages of construction. Based on the current pace of construction and current state of construction of this section of CDD 16, as well as the sales progress in the northern portions of CDD 15 in the villages of Ocala, Edenfield, LaGrange, and Lakeview, my expectation is that this area of CDD 16 will start selling homes, or at least lots for homes, sometime in the late part of this year or the early part of 2026. If you look at the map in the lower left corner of this video, you'll see that the Beautyberry and Huckleberry executive golf courses that we're flying over now will wind their way around various neighborhoods of this section of the villages. As we fly around, you can see that the various subdivisions are in different states of construction. Some in the very early stages, some are having the underground infrastructure laid in, some are getting roads laid out. So it's all starting to come together. Again, I would expect to see homes and lots in this area start to be going on sale late in the year or early next year. The tee boxes, greens, sand traps, and of course water hazards for these two new golf courses are all being laid out now. You can see the outline of many of them as we fly over. As we come up, there's a small dark patch at the top of the screen. That's where Bush Boulevard and Marsh Bend Trail meet, and that's where the new Mustang Recreation Center is going to be located. Once again, the road at the top of the screen is Marsh Bend Trail, and here we're heading back towards the villages of Moultrie Creek and Shady Brook. Now let's go back up to the villages of Edenfield and Oak Hollow and look at the Woodlands Championship Course. This is the clubhouse. There's a practice putting green between the 10th hole on the left and the first hole on the right. We're going to fly all 18 holes, and I'm going to give you my impressions looking at the aerial shots as well as the maps on the village's website on what par is for each of these holes. Hole 1 is a par 4 with a significant water hazard on the left. After you complete hole 1, you'll turn around and head north on the second hole, which is also a par 4. This one seems a relatively easy one, a few trees in the way, but other than that, it's pretty much a straight shot to the green. You'll cross over Craig Court to get to the third hole. The third hole appears to be a long par 4 with a significant water hazard all the way down the left side of the fairway. Hole 4 is a dogleg right, and it appears to be a par 5. Maybe a short par 5, but I think definitely a par 5. The fifth hole is a quick par 3. As we round the bend, we come to hole number 6. It's a dogleg left and appears to be a par 4. As you get to the end of it, you come to the halfway house, the restroom, if you will, and then you'll make the turn to the 7th hole. The 7th hole is definitely a par 5. It's a long one. Just like all the other holes, you got water in play on at least one side of the course. Coming through hole number 7, we get to the 8th hole, which is another par 3. And then from there, we get to the 9th hole, which is going to be a par 4, with just a little bit of water hazard on this hole before we head back to the clubhouse. Just to the right of the construction trailer coming up, you'll see the foundations for the Blanchard Recreation Center. We'll start the back 9 at the clubhouse on hole number 10, which appears to be a very long par 4. Once we get to the end of hole 4, we'll cross over Corbin Trail and do the rest of the back 9. And just a reminder, if you have a need, please use some of my sponsors. They all provide really great services, and don't forget to tell them you heard about them from Gold Wingnut. Now we come to the 11th hole. This is another par 4. It looks pretty straight and open, nothing too challenging, other than hitting the ball in my case. And then we cross over the road, and we get to the 12th hole, which is a long par 5. It looks fairly straight and open, but it's long nonetheless. Hole 13 that we're coming up on is a very short par 3. As we round the bend to hole 14, we come across another challenging par 4. The next 4 holes surround a subdivision that my sources are telling me will come on sale next week. This will be the first home sites to become available in the village of Edenfield. Hole 15 is another very long par 5 with lots of water on one side. Hole 16 is going to be a very wet par 3 with most of the tee boxes, except for the friendlies, you have to shoot completely over water. As we start to wrap up this flyover of the Woodlands Championship Golf Course, holes 17 and 18 are both par 4s. That about wraps up this early flyover. I'll do another one when the course is more accessible. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. As always, I implore you to seek out the good things in life and live life to its fullest. Life is too short, power is fleeting, physical beauty lasts but a short while. All those who live long enough will too also become weak and very vulnerable at some point. Let us be humble, help the sick, help the weak, the vulnerable, and most of all remember that one day we too will exit the stage. I'm Don Wiley. Have a great day.